Mr. Speaker, this morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others. In addition to my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings later today. This afternoon I will travel to Berlin to meet Chancellor Merkel to discuss how we implement the decision the British people took in the referendum, and I expect we will also cover a number of other pressing international issues, and tomorrow I will visit Paris for similar discussions with President Hollande.
Jeremy Corbyn!
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I welcome the Right Honourable Member to her first Prime Minister's question time and congratulate her on her appointment and becoming the country's second woman Prime Minister. I hope that she will agree with me that this House and Prime Minister's question time should be an opportunity to debate seriously the issues that face our country and our place in the world.
I look forward to the exchanges he and I will have, and I hope we will be having those exchanges over this dispatch box for many years to come.
The Prime Minister is rightly concerned, Mr. Speaker, and she said this: if you're black, you're treated more harshly than if you're white. So before appointing her new Foreign Secretary, did she discuss with him his description of black people as piccaninnies and why he questioned the motives of the US President Obama on his part Kenyan heritage?
Well, he refers to the remarks I made, and it is correct that if you are black, you will be treated more harshly in the criminal justice system. It's exactly why, as Home Secretary, I dealt with the issue of stop and search. I was concerned to make sure that nobody should be stopped and searched on the streets of this country because of the colour of their skin. I did that as a Conservative. 13 years of Labour did nothing on it.
Mr. Speaker, in her speech on the steps of Downing Street, she also addressed insecure workers, saying you have a job, but you don't always have job security. Does that mean to those people that are worried about their future in work, I'm talking of the people that sent us here to serve them. Does that mean that she's proposing to scrap the employment tribunal fees, repeal the Trade Union Act, or ban zero-hours contract, as more than a dozen European nations have already done? That would help to give greater job security to many very worried people in this country.
I'm interested that he refers to the situation of some workers who might have some job insecurity and potentially unscrupulous bosses. I suspect that there are many members on the opposition benches who might be familiar with an unscrupulous boss. A boss who doesn't listen to his workers, a boss who requires some of his workers to double their workload. A boss, and maybe even a boss who exploits the rules to further his own career. Remind him of anybody?
Mr. Angus Robertson. May I begin by extending congratulations to the Prime Minister on her first outing at Prime Minister's Questions, and ahead of her travels to Berlin. German Vice-Chancellor Sigmar Gabriel has already confirmed how Scotland is able to remain in the European Union. Did the Prime Minister discuss this when she met with First Minister Nicola Sturgeon when she was in Edinburgh? And will she do everything to ensure that remain means remain for Scotland?
I did discuss the arrangements in relation to the negotiations for the United Kingdom leaving the EU with the First Minister. I was very pleased that my first trip was a trip to Scotland and that I was able to do that so early in my premiership. As I've been very clear, the Union is very important to me. And I was also clear with the First Minister that I think that there are some ideas that are being put forward that are impracticable, but I am willing to listen to the options that are brought forward, and we will be engaging fully with all the devolved administrations.
Finally, Mr. Tim Farron.
There you go. Thanks. Well, you're all, Mr. Speaker, you're all very, very kind. Can I can I genuinely, warmly welcome the Prime Minister to her position and reflect that she has come a long way since we were on the hustings together in North West Durham. She will reflect that she is possessing greater support in this chamber than either of us got in Concert Working Men's Club. Today, there are reports that the new Brexit unit will be hiring lawyers at the cost of £5,000 per head per day. So can I ask the Prime Minister whether she'll be using the mythical £350 million to pay the legal fees, or is that still pencilled in for the NHS, as promised by her Cabinet colleagues who campaigned for leave?
Very good.
I think it's absolutely right that we create a new department to focus on the work of negotiating the United Kingdom leaving the European Union, and that department will need to have the expertise necessary to undertake those negotiations. And I say to the Right Honourable Gentleman, I'm very happy to remember the days that he and I spent campaigning in that Parliament, in that general election in North West Durham. Little did the voters of North West Durham know that the two candidates, unsuccessful candidates in that election, would become leaders of two of this country's political parties, although, as I would point out to the Right Honourable Gentleman, my party is a little bit bigger than his is.
Order!